What's good, homies? What's good? Appreciate y'all joining me again here, man. Let's give the people a few minutes to get in here before we go ahead and rock out. I was just watching some highlights, man. It's funny, man, that the New England Patriots are jammed up in cheating again, man. The Patriots are jammed up in cheating again, man, which I think is the craziest thing in the world, man. Them boys just can't get right over there. So I was thinking about something, man. And just thinking about me dealing with people and the people I deal with in my everyday life. And I was thinking about how many of those people live lies. But they don't live lies because they don't know the truth. They live lies in spite of knowing the truth. Despite being totally aware of what the truth of their life is, they ignore that truth and live lies. Now I ask you, how is it that you can go through every day looking at the truth, avoiding it, and creating a totally different or even an alternate existence to who you truly are? You see it a lot of times on this platform. Someone is a 100% peon in their real lives. No one respects them. No one reveres them. No one adheres to anything they say. But then they come online and they are this totally different person. They are this king. They are this real cat. They are this thorough individual. And let me tell you something. You can tell if someone is listening to the lies of their mind if they're constantly engaged in their online persona. You see, when you need to run from your personal life, whenever you find a rest haven or a safe haven from your personal life, you engage in that rest haven or safe haven as often as you can. And with the advent of social media and its meteoric rise in popularity and necessity for the most part, millions of people have created a new online persona. You can alter your photos, you can alter your voice, you can alter your image, you can change your name, you can be whoever you want to be on social media and use it as an escape from the truth of your life, the unbearable truth of your life. We're going to talk about this today, man. Your mind will tell you lies, but you still know the truth. D. Flemings, what's good, my brother? Appreciate you being in the joint, man. George Salikas, what up, GT? Oreo, what's happening, man? LG, I see you, brother. What's good with you? Let's give the people a few minutes to get in here, man, before we jump off into this thing, man. Later on, man, I'm coming right back with another one at about 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Actually, at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. There's a story going around that's going to be an amazing story, man, and I'll go ahead and drop that on y'all as well. As a matter of fact, I may end up just recording that one for the main channel. Now, when I say your mind will tell you lies, that's a big pill to swallow. Huge pill. You got to break it up in 4 parts. It's a huge pill. Because what that means is the lies you believe are the lies that your mind tells you. When we talk about the blue pill, red pill thing and the men who still believe in, that the NAWALT and the AWALT and believing that all women aren't like that. And you got to think about hypergamy and female nature and all that. Any man who still believes the opposite of the truth is doing that on purpose. It is intentional. There is no man alive right now who should believe the opposite of what red pill information represents. No man alive. When I said man now, not boy, no man, no grown man alive should still be festering in the cesspool of blue pill living and blue pill imaginations because we all know it is false. So any man who believes in that, any man who is anywhere preaching and promoting that you just got to, you can't be that way. Those red pill guys and those MGTOW guys and that alpha guy and all of that, they're just talking. They don't know anything. You can be different. You can be nice and fun and let women do whatever they want to do, and they're not going to reward you with loyalty and love and respect and all of that. You got these guys around here talking about that, man, and they are that way for choice. That's why I tell you that I don't deal with the beta male, because if you're a beta male, you're a beta male by choice. If your mind is so weak that you can't get over becoming a beta male, then you need to seek some help. I'm always available for you. bookofalpharunningme.com. I'm available for you at all times. But the level of help you need is not free. If you can't get it out of all this content, brother, you got real problems. I say that again. If you can't get what you need out of all of this content I make available to you, then you need personal help. One-on-one help. You have to understand, man, that your mind will tell you these lies. And you have to ask yourself, why in the hell you believe those lies when you know the truth? And the worst truth to deny is the truth that you've been taught from your own experiences. See, I can tell you anything. I can tell you absolutely anything. I can tell you what works for me. It might not work for you. I tell you what my mentality is, how my personality is with all women. And let me tell you something that these brothers like to say all the time. They like to say things like, well, if that's your mentality, you're going to be limited to the kind of women you can get. I don't care what kind of, you know what kind of women I'm going to be limited to? The women who accept that mentality. I don't give a damn about nothing else. I'm perfectly fine with being limited to the women who accept my way of thinking, who accept my way or no way. I'm fine. If there's just 100 women in the whole wide world, boy, I got some damn traveling to do, don't I? I'm perfect. Numbers don't matter. The only thing that matters is compatibility. Now let's get back into this thing, man. Let's get deep into it. See, your mind will tell you that you're being loved and appreciated. As a man, your mind will tell you that. Why you have a woman who's disobedient. And I'm not talking about you, the woman being a slave and you cracking a whip on her back. I'm talking about a woman who's disobedient, even on a small scale. Let me tell you something about disobedience. Disobedience strictly means that your words are not being prioritized, that your desires are not being prioritized. It's something as simple as this. Your woman goes to the store. You tell her to bring this back for you. She brings everything back except that, which means that she didn't prioritize what you wanted back from the store. That's on a small scale, but small scale leads to large scale. If a woman can't even prioritize and make whatever else she was going to forget, it shouldn't have been what the hell you wanted back. That's a telltale sign that your woman doesn't love and appreciate you. Because 9 times out of 10, she's going to the store with your money. Or she's going to the store with her money because you afford her the luxury of doing whatever the hell she wants to do with her money. At least a portion of her money. If you tell your woman you don't like her hair in a certain style and she continues to wear that style, that woman does not love and appreciate you. If you are with a woman taking care of another man's child and that man is still active in his child's life, you are not appreciated by that child. You're like a fun toy. You ever notice how you see a man who's with a woman who has children and he does fun things with the children that he probably never did before? Nigga outside throwing a ball with another man's son, even though he never thrown a ball before outside. Nigga hadn't thrown a ball outside since he was a kid. Now he out there throwing a ball. Nigga didn't even know how to play video games. He done learned how to play video game for somebody else's kid because he thinks he's being loved and appreciated. People smile all the time. Sometimes people fake smile. So just because someone's smiling and having fun and laughing at your presence does not mean that you're being loved and appreciated. It means that people see a benefit in having you around, but most times that's not enough to love and appreciate you. People have to love and appreciate you because your presence drives a wedge between them and happiness. Those are the only time people love and appreciate you, when the lack of your presence drives a wedge between them and happiness. I want y'all to write that down. Even if you know it, still write it down. Stick it on your refrigerator, one of them damn magnets. This applies to all people, men and women. This applies to everyone. If you're an adult and you're listening to the sound of my voice, you need to remember one thing in life. I don't care where you are. No one appreciates you unless your presence is the difference between them being happy and not being happy. Between them being comfortable and not being comfortable, which is has a direct effect on their happiness. This is just the reality of life. That is why an employer is more likely to fire an employee than an employee is to quit. Because the difference between having that job and not having that job could possibly drive a wedge between you and happiness. And it is almost impossible. It almost never happens where an employer feels that way about a particular employee, because there's already applications and resumes in his office for people who are ready and willing to replace you in the event that they have to let you go. There's no greater example in the world than that. Employees are expendable, employers are not. An employer don't even have to wait until you get nobody else. You better not leave your job before you have something else, because that's going to drive a wedge between you and happiness, brother. That's the reality of this life that we live in, man. Your mind will tell you that you're being loved and appreciated, when in reality, you're probably just being tolerated. That's why you're doing all that new stuff that you haven't done. That's why you're doing all that extra stuff that you really have no interest in. But boy, that smile on their faces sure does a number on you, because you're too deep in your feelings. You can't tell a real smile from a fake smile. That's why I don't take no smile into consideration. I hate when people smile at me. When you smile at me, I think you got an ulterior motive. Unless I don't know you. And then if I don't know you, if you're a woman and I'm somewhere and you smiling at me, I don't look at that, ooh, she choosing on me. Ooh, I look at that man, she trying to get me to break her back. The feeling that she feels for me, the arousal that she feels for me, gives her itch that I need to scratch. It ain't no benefit to me for her to be smiling at me. It's a benefit for her, for me to see her smiling at me, or any other choosing signal that she's giving me, or attraction confirmation, for lack of a better way to put it. I don't use choosing signals. Carpion use that word now. I'll stick to attraction confirmation. She ain't doing me no favor by giving me no attraction confirmation. I'm doing her a favor by walking over, capitalizing on it. Because that attraction confirmation automatically means that she wants me to break her back. Something has sparked in her that makes her want to get her back broken by me. But your mind will tell you that that woman is such a prize that you're lucky that she's showing you attraction confirmation. That's the lie that your mind will tell you. Your mind will tell you that the woman is the prize. Her mind will tell her that she's the prize. Now, if you believe she the prize and she believes she the prize, boy, you ain't nothing. You are the receiver of a prize. That's it. Your presence equates to nothing. You can't offset her presence with yours because you're not the prize. So many of these relationships are turning up the way they're turning up. The only men who claim they're the prize are single men. You put those same men in a relationship with a woman and they no longer the prize. Men don't know how to maintain their outlook when they get in the presence of a woman because they don't know how to stay out of their feelings. Your mind will tell you that you're in love with the woman. Your mind will tell you that she has something so valuable that you're going to lose out if you don't have her. Your mind will tell you that because you're not with a woman anymore, that you lost something. Her mind don't tell her that. Her mind tell her she can just move on to somebody else. She can have 5 kids by 8 men. And she can still feel like, hey, I'm good. I can move on to somebody else. You don't believe you can because your mind tells you that you don't have that option. And you believe it. Even though all around you, you see the statistics, women outnumber us 8-1. We believe things like 80%, 20% of the men get 80% of the women. That's because those 20% of the men believe they can get the women. Only 20% of the men believe that they're the prize. You can't get beautiful women if you don't believe you're the prize. You notice I didn't say don't think you're the prize. You can't get beautiful women if you don't believe you're the prize. You can't do it. The only way to get someone who's been pedestalized is to pedestalize yourself. You have to be able to look down your nose at a woman, no matter how beautiful she is. You have to be able to look at her as beneath you. And until you accept the fact that you are above her, then you're not going to be able to get those quality women like that. And that's just the reality of it, man. Your mind will tell you that you feel good about being the second choice. Your mind will tell you that it feels good to take a woman from a man. You didn't take that woman from that man. That man got to the point where he didn't fight for the woman no more. You won by default. 9 times out of 10. You won by default. And what did you win? You won a prize that didn't want to be your prize in the first place. It's kind of like the same thing about being a stepdad. Hey, man, you're the second choice. In a perfect world, every child will want to have their real dad around. You're the second choice. Well, if I can't have my real dad, I'll take my fake dad. You're not a stepdad, you're a fake dad. There's only one kind of dad in the world. There's only one kind of father. Stepfather means what it says. You stepped up and took on the role of father to a child that's not yours. That's what stepfather means. I heard that Carol Miller on O'Shea's show a couple of days ago. And I don't agree with a whole lot that brother says, but one thing we agree on is that there's no possible way you can find solace and happiness in being a stepdad unless you believe the lies that your mind tells you. If you don't believe the lies your mind tells you, man, then you're not going to believe these things. Your mind will tell you lies. And you know how you believe those lies? Your mind will tell you lies. Even though your mind is where your logic resides, your mind will tell you lies all the time. It's up to you to stay in a logical mindset, to keep your logic at the forefront of your thought process so you can say, no, that's a lie right there. Like, you should be so used to denying the lies that your mind will tell you that you don't even listen to it anymore. Your mind tells you lies. Your feelings cause you to believe those lies. Your need to be validated. Your need to be loved. Your need to be appreciated. See, you don't appreciate yourself, so you have to go get appreciation from other folks. You don't love yourself, so you have to go get love from other folks. You need that woman to make you feel loved because you don't know how to love yourself. And you ain't got no type of relationship with God to be able to get no love for you. You don't even understand what the love of God feels like. So you got to settle. You think about this. Here you are, a man who knows you through and through. You can't love yourself. Here you are, a man who has the right to have a positive, strong relationship with the Most High and get the love of God. You can't get that. You got to settle for the love of a woman. I want y'all to think about that. You got to settle for the validation of a woman. The fleeting validation of a woman. Because a woman will validate 50 niggas at the same time. A woman to do that. And it's simple. It's simple. A woman posts a picture on IG. Boys go over there and like the picture or comment on the picture. She respond to they comment. Every cat who come in, she responded to. Half of them probably going to jump on her DM because she's validated them into believing that they could go ahead and do that. They got a shot just because she said something to them. A woman's validation is cheap. It carries no weight because she doesn't validate you. Your mind tells you that she's validating you. She's validating herself. When a woman allows you to take her on a date, and I did say allow, when a woman allows you to take her on a date, she's not validating you. She's validating herself by reminding herself that she has options who are willing to jump when she says jump, who are willing to fall in line when she says fall in line, who are willing to drop whatever they got going on in order to make the day with her because she decides that that's the day she has available to you. Your mind will tell you lies, even though you know the truth. And your feelings will cause you to ignore that truth and accept those lies instead. Your mind will tell you that you have financial control because you earn a little bit of money, even though you're basically living check to check the same way you did when you made $50,000 or $60,000 less than you do now. Which means that either you were already living $50,000 or $60,000 beyond above your means, or as soon as you got a little extra money, you added some more debt to your life. But you'll look around at your stuff. You look around at your house. You look around at your cars. You look around at your toys. You look around at all these things and not understand that you don't own any of them. Unless you own them outright. But your mind will tell you that you have your finances under control because you pay all of your debts. You know, it's a funny thing that if I tell you every month you got 15 debts to pay, you're going to be like, damn, I'm in debt. But if I tell you every month you got 15 bills to pay, bills is a whole lot easier to accept because we're used to paying what we call bills. Your mind would tell you that bills aren't debts. That's what your mind will tell you. Your mind would tell you that all those car notes aren't debts because there's only $600-700 a month. Paying down what amount? When you think about what that means, if you owe $70,000 on a whip and you paying $800 a month, and about 60% of that or more is going to the interest, especially in the beginning, you got $70,000, man, that you only paying $800 a month on. And it makes you forget about the total debt because you have the item and you're only paying $800 a month. But you owe somebody $70,000. The bank, or whatever financial institution has financed your car loan, your auto loan, you owe them that. Whatever organization has financed your mortgage, you owe them that $300,000-400,000. You're in debt just with those two things, almost $500,000, bro. At least $400,000, because most people who buy a crib, man, to live in for their family are not finna buy no little starter crib, man. My thing is this, man. If all you can afford to live in the starter crib, man, you got to get your money up a little bit better than that, to be honest with you. Starter cribs aren't even worth buying. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion. This is my opinion. You can buy whatever the hell you want to buy. What I'm saying is your mind will tell you that you're not in debt. It will tell you that you're living a good life. But you know when truth happens? When you lose your job, when you get injured and can't work, and when that accidental injury pay and that all that stuff pay off, man, and the unemployment and all that pay off, you got to tap into your 401k, man, and draw that money out of there, man. You can't work for a whole year, man. You out there, then you got stress going on with you and your old lady and all that, man. Your family, you stressing about keeping your family living the lifestyle they live in because your mind lies to you and tell you that it's logical to continue to try to live the same lifestyle even though you don't make the money anymore. Your mind is what causes you to get into a life of turmoil because it'll tell you a lie. It don't force you to believe the lie. It just tells you the lie. And you believe it because you love your family and you don't want them to have to downsize how they live. You love your old lady and you want her to be able to continue to go get her hair done every week, even though she don't need it done but every 2 weeks. You love your babies. So you want to keep them in the most expensive private school there is, as opposed to moving them down to a less expensive private school because you want to keep living that life of prestige. You love your homies. You want them to keep respecting you the way you think they respect you. So you keep that $70,000 vehicle, even though you need to downsize within 2 months of realizing that your ass probably gonna get back to work within the next year. You need to downsize, but you don't. Because your mind tells you that everything gonna be okay. Where there's a will, there's a way. All you got to do is have faith. All you got to do is believe. Good things come to those who wait. That's the type of thing your mind tells you while you sitting there going further and further in the hole. And now not only do you have these debts, now it's affected your credit rating in a negative manner because you paying everything late. Jose Navarro, appreciate the $5 super chat, brother. Jose says, what makes a man superior is the clarity to the relationship. If you're living in a fantasy world filled with lies, you might as well put a dress on. Might as well. And a nice little pair of panties. Your mind will tell you lies, even though you know the truth. But your feelings will make you forget about that truth, ignore that truth, act as if it doesn't exist, and embrace those lies with everything in you. Because you know lies are easier to accept. They feel better. Because you can manipulate a lie into whatever you want it to be. You can tell yourself someone loves and appreciates you if they do or not. And when they do something that shows you they don't, you can just embrace something else. But they do this. Well, she did that one time, but she didn't do it no more. But then she did that other thing. Well, she only did that one time too. Well, you know, she grew up in a bad environment. Her dad was not around, or her mom was abusive, and blah, 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 and blah, 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 all those things. Because you do everything in your power to believe the lies. Your mind will tell you that you can build someone and help them build their content of character. And you're willing to do that as long as they look good. Your mind will tell you that you can help someone build their content of character. We're talking about a grown person. We ain't talking about a child. Your mind tells you that you can meet someone and your goodness is going to rub off on them. And they're going to become the same type of person you are. Your mind will tell you that a woman that's cheated on every man she's ever been with going to be a good woman for you. Your mind will tell you that a man who's beat on every woman he's ever had before going to make a good man for you. He ain't going to beat on you even though you got that same smart mouth the rest of them got. It's kind of like artists who used to sign the Cash Money records. Stone ain't never paid nobody. Birdman ain't never paid nobody. And Cat still been signing with him. Man, he wouldn't even pay Wayne. Wayne had to sue him. Wayne's supposed to be his son. Him and Wayne kiss each other all in the mouth in public. Always kissing each other on the mouth. Claiming that they're gangsters and thugs and bangers, but they're kissing each other on the mouth, talking about some mob stuff. And he wouldn't even pay Wayne. Let everybody go and kept Wayne, and Wayne helped build a company up. He didn't even want to pay Wayne. Now, why would you go over there and sign with that boy? Because you believe your mind is telling you to lie, but they ain't them. They must, whatever lie he telling you, your mind is telling you to believe that lie. Well, you know, they was everybody got paid and blah blah and all these lawsuits. Your mind telling you, well, they just trying to sue him because he got money. Your mind will tell you lies, man. And it's up to you to believe them or not. That's your thing. You can't help someone build their content and character, man. Let me tell you something. If you got an alley chick, man, she gonna be alley regardless. You can let me tell you something, brothers, and this is real talk. You can't put class and sass into a woman that's always talking out of her ass. That ain't gonna work. You can't put class into a woman who ain't already got it. A woman has to be raised to be classy. Any woman can be sassy, and sassy ain't good if you don't mix it with classy. But you get some classy and sassy, boy, you got yourself some man that probably gonna keep you gonna keep your hands off of her. You can't take nobody fake and make them real, bruh. If a man functions on feminine energy as a grown man, he ain't gonna change. He is who he is. You can't talk no sense into a fool. That's like talking astrophysics to somebody with a 6th grade education, man. It don't matter what you tell them. It don't matter how you break it down. There's too huge of a void between what you want them to know and what they actually know, man. Your mind will tell you lies, man, even though you know the truth. And your feelings will make you ignore the truth and embrace those lies, no matter how illogical those lies are. Your mind will tell you that sex isn't the most important thing in a relationship. And let me tell you something, that goes for men and women. Your mind will tell you to lie. That because your woman tells you that sex ain't the most important thing and she don't really pressure you for it, that she ain't into sex. Nah, brother, she ain't into sex with you. Women want sex just as much as you do, but they just don't get as aroused as easily. And if your woman don't want no sex, that's because you don't arouse her. She ain't aroused by you. And I'm going to be honest with you. If your mind is telling you you should stay with a woman that's not even aroused by you, boy, your mind done told you the biggest lie in history and you still there. So you obviously embrace that lie. It's the truth. If you're a woman and you believe that anything else you bring to the table is more important than sex to your man, shout, are you crazy? I ain't talking about for play crazy. I'm talking about straight jacket rubber room crazy. Shout, you need a lobotomy. Something wrong with you. If you truly believe that you can keep a man happy and satisfied with anything other than good quality freaky sex, then you've lost your mind. It ain't gonna happen. I don't care what else you bring to the table, because everything else you bring to the table pales in comparison to a sexually frustrated man. A sexually frustrated man don't want nothing else you got. He's miserable. A sexually frustrated woman loses her self-confidence. She stops caring about being sexy because she's sexually frustrated, and sexually frustrated don't feel sexy. Relationships are work, man. And they fail because people don't want to put in the work, or people don't understand the work. People believe the lies that their mind tell them instead of the truth. And the truth is, sex is the absolute most important aspect of any relationship. People who want to have children, it takes sex for that. If you want somebody to be faithful to you, you better have sex with them on a regular. If you want to make that intimate connection, it's going to take some sex for that. You can cap that intimate connection off with all that other stuff, but it's going to take some sex for that. If you want to put your stain on somebody, you want to put your stain on your woman, man, take sex for that. You want to put your stain on your man, shout, it takes sex for that. You got to be able to make that energy exchange. And there's no energy exchange stronger than that sexual energy exchange. Nothing locks you in greater than that. I don't care what nobody tell you. If they say it does, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Your mind will tell you lies, even though you know the truth. And your feelings will tell you to ignore that truth and embrace those lies. Your mind will tell you everyone wants to see you win because they've seen you lose for so long. Your mind will tell you that people appreciate you getting an opportunity to finally win. That's how people end up getting that opportunity and sharing it with everyone. And then they go from being on to being off again. And then they realize that all of those people can't help them get back on because all of those people didn't get them on in the first place. Your mind will tell you that when you get on, it's your job to make sure all of your people, all your kin people, all over the world, and wherever they at, it's your job to make sure they get a little piece of your pie. That's what your mind tells you. Your mind tells you you're wrong if people can't come to you and get money whenever they want it, if you got it. Your mind will tell you that if you got it, you're supposed to give it no matter what they want it for. Your mind will tell you that no matter what somebody gonna do with the money, it ain't your business. Once you give them the money, they do what they want to do with it. Your mind will tell you that if you know your kin people is a crackhead or alcoholic, you're gonna give them money anyway, and then it don't matter what they do with it because you gave them the money because you had it to give. That's what your mind will tell you. All of those things are lies, man. All of those things are lies. Your mind will tell you that you're automatically supposed to pick family over everything. That's what your mind will tell you. Your mind will tell you that a woman who's already been with multiple men throughout her whole life is wifey material. Shawty, your mind will tell you that a man who ain't got a pot to piss in is worthy of being a husband. That he can treat you the way a man's supposed to treat his wife. And I don't mean just materialistic. I don't mean materialistically. I mean in every way. Guidance, control, leadership. Your mind will tell you all kinds of lies. And you'll believe them because it's easier to believe them. You know how hard it is to hold off and resist, especially for a woman who get up in her 30s. You know how hard it is to hold off and not spread yourself all thin, trying to find that man where you just traipsing around, getting off, letting all these men get off in you, and then you can't hold off. Then when you finally meet a man, you come across man, he realizes that he already know two dudes you've been with, and they dudes you didn't even want to get with. You just couldn't be patient. Most people around you don't want to see you win. I tell you like this, there are more people who are already winning who want to see you win than there are people who are losing, who are on the cusp of winning, who have won and fallen off, all put together. There are more people who are already winning who want to see you win. That is why as you start winning, you have to cut losers loose. You have to stop dealing with losers. You have to stop dealing with loser mentalities. Your mind will tell you that, well, those are your people. You just got to accept them for how they are. That's the lie your mind will tell you. But then when those same people start affecting your life in a negative manner, then you start to understand that your mind has been lying to you the entire time. Your mind will tell you that you're supposed to be loyal to another man. As a man, your mind will tell you that you're supposed to use words like loyal to other men. Your mind will tell you that's not a feminine mindset. A woman is supposed to be loyal to her man. But that's what your mind will tell you. And for the most part, you'll believe what your mind tells you. Your mind will tell you that you can make the world a better place. You got all this kumbaya, let's make the world a better place. We can heal the world. We could turn back the hands of time. Man, let me tell you something. Your mind is telling you a lie. The world gonna get a whole lot worse. It ain't gonna get better. I don't care what you do. You a fool. And that goes for everybody. You a fool and a half if you out here trying to make the world a better place. If you out here trying to, if you're a conservationist and all that, man, the world is already destroyed. There's too many things destroying the world at too fast a rate for you to be sitting here think that because you recycle some damn plastic, you're going to help out. The hood is already too bad for you to be thinking you're gonna go in there and heal the hood. You're going to change the hood. Boy, the hood been designed to be what it is before you were born, before your daddy was born. Your mind will tell you you can change something even though you don't have any control over anything necessary to change something. Your mind will tell you that without any control over infrastructure, without any control over finances, without any control over education, without any control over policing, without any control over anything, the judicial system as a whole, without any control over anything, you can go somewhere and change something with your damn words. That's what your mind will tell you. Even though you know the truth of the matter that when you were in that environment, nobody could tell you nothing. That's how we all end up catching these cases. Because nobody could tell us anything. That's why in retrospect, we all look back and say, hey, we could have done that differently. Because nobody could tell us anything. But now your mind tells you that you're so great, you're so wonderful, because you caught a bid and went to prison, or you caught a bid and got jammed up and the people broke you, or your homie snitched on you, or any of that happened, that you can go back in that same environment. Well, guess what? The people who were talking to you when you was that environment, they had those same issues. Had been in prison, still in prison, got out of prison, had homies snitch on them, had people try to kill them and they killed people. Everything that you've gone through, the people who before you went through the same thing and tried to talk to you and you didn't listen. But your mind will tell you that something's going to be different now when the world has gotten even worse. There is no such thing as healing the world. There is no such thing as turning things around. However old you are, things have been going bad for that long. So if you decide at 30 years old, you're going to change the world, man, the world has been going bad for the 30 years of your life. You don't even know where to start healing the world. You don't even know what the foundation of the problem is. And if you find out the foundation, you can't get to it. There is no change in the education system in the inner city. How you going to change it? Just tell me how you going to change it. Everybody always talking about change, but they don't get for no options, because there are no options to change a society that was created with us in bondage. How all of a sudden are you going to come from being low on the totem pole, the lowest on the totem pole, to thinking you got enough power to change a society? You can't even change the vote in your own state. If it's red, it's going to be red no matter what you do. If it's blue, it's going to be blue no matter what you do. But your feelings, you feel so bad, and you have this regret for what you contributed to the hood and everything that you did and how many lives you destroyed and all that. Hey, I destroyed some lives too, but I'm a realist. I'm a realist, Jack. I understand that after I left out of the hood, there were more young niggas coming behind me destroying the hood. So I don't even know the condition of the hood, because I ain't out in the trenches on the block like that anymore. I'm not in the dirt anymore. But I guarantee you, if I go back into the dirt, it's 10 times as bad as it was when I was in the dirt, because it's progressively gotten worse. It's like driving a car that needs an oil change, but you don't get the oil change. It needs an oil change at 5,000. You get to 6,000. You still ain't got the oil change. You get to 8,000. You still ain't get the oil change. I guarantee you won't make it to 20,000 without changing the oil. So now you at 20,000 miles with a car with a motor locked up. You think you finna still go outside and crank it up and drive away. But your feelings, the way you feel about that environment, the way you feel about yourself, your regrets, you feeling bad about the lives you destroyed, and now you want to go heal some more lives. You can't make up like that, bro. Those mistakes were made. Those decisions were already made, and you've already paid. So you got to focus that energy on something else. But unless you want to stay in your feelings, you go ahead and keep doing that. Your mind will tell you lies, even though you know the truth. And your feelings will convince you to ignore that truth and embrace those lies. Your mind will tell you that as a woman, the number of sexual partners you've had doesn't matter, shouldn't be considered, won't be considered. That's what your mind will tell you. Even though you've read and you've learned about all the energy exchanges and the imprintation and all of that, and you think that all of that doesn't matter because you feel like the number of sexual partner you had shouldn't be considered. You feel that now. Your mind has told you a lie. Because I promise you, no matter what else you bring to the table, unless you're dealing with a broke, poor, and disgusted man who need to accept any woman he can so he can have a place to lay his head, if you're dealing with a real man that's out here getting by his, I'm going to tell you right now, shawty, no man is going to pick you with your 10 sexual partners over a woman who has 2. No man is going to pick you with your 2 sexual partners over a woman who's a virgin. I don't care what else you bring to the table. If he is a man who's taking care of his business and he's financially situated the way a man who's taking care of his business is supposed to be, he's the best version of himself, the strongest version of himself, the leanest, meanest, cleanest version of himself. Trust me, your sexual partners will matter. And you know they'll matter. That's why you lie about them. That's why you avoid the topic. That's why you try to brush it off the table before you have to discuss it. Because you know deep down inside it matters. Your mind will tell you it doesn't, but the truth of the matter is you know it does. That's why you won't keep it 100 about it. You got to deal with the truth because that's all that matters. The only thing you can trust in this world is the truth. There's nothing else worth trusting or considering. There's truth and then there's everything else. But your mind will tell you lies, even though you know the truth. And your feelings will cause you to ignore that truth and accept those lies. As a man, if you think the number of children you have and how many women you have them by don't matter to a woman who doesn't have any children, who has never been pregnant, and who is about her business and is willing to get into a situation and give it all she's got, if you think the amount of children you have by different women don't matter to that woman, man, you lying to yourself. Everything has consequences and repercussions. Now, granted, I'm going to be honest with you. A man is more likely to still get that woman because he has other things in order than a woman is to still get that man because she has other things in order. But that's just the way of the world. You see, if you want to believe that men and women are equal, then you're living a lie. That's the lie that's the biggest lie that women's mind is telling them today, that men and women are equal. I heard a woman say on a panel that men and women should be paid the same thing if they have the same experience and the same education. You know what she didn't say? If they have the same production. Because the lie that her mind tells her is that education and experience will automatically lead to the same production. But that shit has been disproved 50 million times already. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but it's been disproved constantly. Just because you have the same level of education and the same amount of years of experience does not mean you can match the production of a man who has the same level of experience and the same level of education. That's just not being realistic. But her mind will tell her that that education and that experience trumps that production. That's why they never mention the production. It's always the education and experience, because they can match you with that. They can match the amount of years you've done something, and they can match the level of education. But the production, they can never match it. I don't care who they are. They can be feminine. They can be feminist. They can be a girly lesbian, or they can be a dyke. It doesn't really matter who they are. She can't match the production. You understand? She just can't. Most times, even you're dealing with a man who don't even have a passion for what he's doing, just going in there throwing some effort into it, she can't match the production. And that's just the reality of it. You understand? This is the reality of it. You can research this. This is just the reality of life. We're dealing with the truth right here. We ain't dealing with no feelings. We ain't dealing with what you hope is real. We're dealing with what's absolutely real right now. And the reality is that 50-50 relationships will never work, because for it to be 50-50, we have to be equal. I guarantee you, there are no old people who are in their 80s that got a 50-50. All the old people I know that's married, you walk in there and you either see that either the man dominates the relationship or the woman dominates the relationship. I'm not saying that every relationship is dominated by the man. I'm saying that every successful relationship is dominated by someone's energy. Either the man or the woman is the domineering energy in that relationship. All those 50-50 relationships fail. They never work. Even when it seems like they're working, they're not working. Two people are just existing in one another's presence miserably for the most part. There's no successful 50-50 relationship. A relationship is more success. A relationship has a 80% chance, a 80% greater chance of being successful if the woman dominates the relationship. As long as the man is willing to submit, as long as the person who's being dominated is willing to submit, the relationship can last forever. When no one is willing to submit and no one is willing to dominate, then a relationship can't work because all relationships are built on dominance and submission. All long-term relationships, man, your business relationships, your employment, everything is built on someone's willing to be dominated and someone's willingness to dominate. That's just what it is, man. The world is built on that. It's no problem. It's the truth. It's the reality of it, man. That's all this is. So your mind will tell you lies. Your mind will tell you you're being loved and appreciated when you know you're not. You're basing it on what you feel. See, what's the moral to this? What's the moral to this story? What's the overlaying and underlying truth of this discussion? It's that as a man, you got to stay the hell out of your feelings. I would say as a woman, you got to stay out of yours, but as a woman, you can't. You can't stay out of your feelings. But as a man, you got to stay out of your feelings. Don't listen to these dudes telling you, man, to be in your feelings. They crazy. Any man who's telling you be in his feelings is already married, already got a woman that he can respect and who respects him. That's something different. You cannot listen to a man who has that when you know so many men who don't have it. That only applies if you have that kind of woman. He who findeth the wife findeth a good thing. He who findeth the woman who is not worthy of being a wife and maketh her a wife destroyeth his life. You feel good about being second choice. That's what makes a man so wonderfully proud to be a stepdad. So wonderfully proud to be the second choice. Man, how you gonna be with a woman, man, who wanted to be with somebody else, but the man didn't want her? Like, I'm not, listen, bro, even if the man did want her, I would never get with a woman, man, who was in a happy marriage. Her husband died, bro. She gonna forever love that dude. She gonna forever be distraught over him. She gonna forever be heartbroken. She can never give you herself completely. You'll think she will because she's so emotionally reliant on you. Because she's just suffered a terrible emotional crisis. She'll never get over that. So the entire time you're with her, you'll feel so needed and you'll feel loved, but what you'll be getting is used. Your mind will tell you that you have your finances in order and under control because you have a lot of stuff and you make a little bit of money. You got a lot of stuff. Man, let me tell you something. You could ride through my neighborhood right now, man, and see a crib, man, with a whole circular driveway full of cars. Everybody in the house got a car. You know what I'm saying? I know a family right now, the twins, they got twins. They go to school, they're in the same class, they're in the same grade. Of course, everything they do, man, they play for the same team. They got the same after school activities. Both of them got a different car and they be together every day. Every time you see one car parked somewhere, you see the other car parked right beside it. Every time. At school, at home, at practice, at church, at their little jobs, everything. They work in the same place. They do everything together, but they both got two different cars. How excessive is that? Somebody that's active duty military, active duty Marines, got a brand new Toyota Tundra, fully loaded. Bought it in 2018. It's got 40 miles on it. Bought it January 2018. It's got 40 miles on it. Just sitting there, getting old in the yard. Too big for his wife to drive. So when he ain't home, which he never is, he's always on deployment, the thing is gone. The thing's just sitting there. You can do what you want to do with your money. I ain't telling nobody what to do, but I'm saying you can't be sitting here telling yourself that your finances are in order when all your money goes out on your debts. If you live to pay debts, you are not in financial order. You are in financial disarray. See, I hear all these people talking all this, man, going all this, but let me tell you something, man. I live a great quality life, a great quality life. There ain't too many things I can want to do, but that I want to do that I can't do. I live a great quality life. You understand? I actually been thinking about flying around the country private. I live a great quality life, but not because I make so much money. It's because I live a minimalist life. You understand? I live a minimalist life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I have nice stuff, but I live a minimalist life. I'll talk about that maybe on Patreon. I live a minimalist life, but I have nice things. And I'll help you understand what that means. But I would rather live a great life and I minimize debt, brothers. I want to minimize. I feel like no one on the planet, no one should have more than $25,000 in personal debt at any particular time. Business debts are a little bit different. They work a little bit different. They compile a little bit different. They get paid off a little bit different. They transfer a little bit different. They do everything differently. But if you got 25,000, you got more than $25,000 in personal debt, you need to pay your debt down, bruh. Because the majority of people in America don't make $50,000 a year. And if you do make 50, you don't bring home 50. You got to make damn near 75 to bring home 50, maybe even 80 to bring home 50, depending on what your tax cuts are. You see what I'm saying? So we talking about, man, if you got more than $25,000 worth of personal debt, man, your ass is in the red. It's not good to live in the red, man. You know what? I'm gonna share some things on y'all on Patreon, man. You know, I keep up with the financial sector. And I'm gonna share some things with y'all, man, about these tariffs and the thing that's going on with the U.S. and China as far as the, you know, the trades and the import tariffs and taxes that they put on one another, and this battle royal that's going on, man, with this financial thing and how North Korea is involved in it. I'm gonna start discussing these things with y'all on Patreon, man, because this game is to be sold, not told. And I'm not just gonna willingly share this stuff, but this is stuff, man, that's gonna float your boat and make you feel like you need to get out of all this damn debt. I'm telling you. Some shit is coming within the next 2 years where if you got all that debt, boy, they finna own you. They finna own you. You ain't gonna be able to get your family out the country. But you think your finances in order. See, your mind would tell you that you can help someone build their content and character, even though the content and character sucks. And then 5 years in, you realize that they're worse than they ever been, no matter what you've done. And now you're worse because when you have that negative energy around you, it drains your positive energy. So now, in order to interact with a person with that negative energy, you have had to become somewhat negative. Now you got to find yourself when you was perfectly fine where you were. You got to find yourself. They ain't got to find themselves. They continue to regress to the type of person they were going to be. And now you got to try to build yourself back up to the person you were because you invited that negative energy into your life. Your mind would tell you that sex is the most important thing in a relationship. Okay, why so much cheating going on? So much cheating going on because people ain't being satisfied in their relationships. I listen, man. I know couples, man, who get it in. I know couple, man. Listen, bro. I know couples who, man, they'll be having a gathering at their crib. Everybody be in there chilling, man. Suddenly, man, they leave out, man. Suddenly, man, we'll hear them upstairs, man, getting it in. It's like they can't. This shit will happen anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like we can all be out somewhere on a vacation and we can all go to California or go to Vegas or go anywhere. We can all go to ATL, go anywhere. Man, they always getting it in. They got jammed up for indecent exposure a couple of times. They can't keep their hands off one another. They've been together 15 years. There have never been any rumblings of cheating or anything. But that's the type of energy you need to have with the person you're with. If you don't have that type of sexual energy, the relationship is over immediately. That shit ain't even worth starting. It's over before it starts. But your mind will tell you can work through that. Sex ain't the most important thing. We don't even have to worry about sex. There's other ways to be intimate. There's other ways. Hey, man, there's other ways to chill. There aren't other ways to be intimate. Netflix and chill ain't intimate unless it leads to some sex. Foreplay is called foreplay. It's just, listen, foreplay is only foreplay if it leads to sex. If it don't lead to sex, you just been teased. It's a tease. That's what we call it. We call it teased. If it leads to sex, it was perfectly foreplay. That's what it was. There is no intimacy outside of sex. Everything else is some emotional bonding. When I'm talking about intimacy, intimacy is physical. Emotional bonding is all the other stuff we're talking about. Intimacy. And we don't have to equate, I'm talking about physical intimacy. But when you ask somebody what other kind of intimacy is there, they can't tell you another type of intimacy. They'll start telling you about actions where we can chill, we can walk and hold hands. No, I want you to label, well, what kind of intimacy is that? Well, that's intimacy outside of sex. No, we can label sexual intimacy, physical intimacy. What kind of intimacy is that? Is that emotional intimacy? Is that hand-holding intimacy? Is that PDA intimacy? What kind of intimacy? It's not intimacy. It is just an act of emotional bonding. Intimacy is just about sex. And if you're in a relationship with a woman, man, and she telling you all these other things mean intimacy, she don't want sex from you. And the same thing, if you're in a situation with a man, he don't want that stuff, he don't want sex from you. Especially if a man is telling his woman, we ain't got to worry about sex, we can just cuddle. Man, if you ever told your woman we can just cuddle, man, you don't want her. You probably just came from laying up with who you wanted. We got to keep these things in mind, man. So, man, if you haven't joined Patreon, man, go ahead over there and join it, man. I'm about to start dropping the MP3s over there. The guys have requested MP3s, which is a much easier format to formulate. The live stream still will be going over there, but just the regular content, it's going to be MP3 from now on, because I think I need to do something different on that lower level anyway than just throw a video up there, because I do videos over here. What's the purpose in doing short videos over there when I do them over here? But I will throw some MP3s about some topics that I don't cover over here, because YouTube won't let you cover those over here. They'll shut you down if you do. But those MP3s, I can upload straight from my phone or straight from my computer, straight to Patreon. So there's no interference. There's nobody saying, hey, we got to check that content. That content ain't quite right. We're going to flag you for that content. You got a copyright strike. You got another strike. You can't get no AdSense. You can't. It ain't none of that. I can just go straight to that, man. So that's probably going to be the way I end up formulating the content, man, on every level. But I will do still be sending the live streams over there, man. And I may even send the live streams over there in MP3 format, man. I can download them, swap them to an MP3 and just upload them over there. Because most times, man, y'all ain't looking at the shit anyway. Like, unless you just sitting down in front of your computer or your phone, man, how often do you just sit and watch a whole live stream and just watch the screen? Come on, man. That's the purpose in being online, man. Well, we ain't got to sit and watch everything, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna start doing that over there, man. In the meantime, I appreciate everybody, man. Support, man. I appreciate everything y'all doing, man. And it's only gonna get greater later, man. It's only gonna get better. But let's get back into this. Your mind will tell you that everyone wants to see you win because they've seen you lose for so long. 9 times out of 10, everyone who's seen you lose wants your ass to keep losing. They don't want to see you win. They want you to keep losing. People want to see you lose because they're used to seeing you lose. They know the loser you. Everyone knows the poor you. Everyone knows the broke you. Everyone knows the you that's eating ramen noodles and Spam. Everyone knows the you that's eating a bag of 25-cent chips. Everyone knows the you that eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They don't know the you that's eating steak every day. They don't know the you that's living in that fly condo. They don't know the you that's driving that Benz. They don't know the you that's got them zeros in your bank account. They don't know that you. They got to learn that you, and it's hard to learn that you without envy setting in. You did. You got to keep these things in mind, brothers. Your mind will tell you lies, man. And your feelings will cause you to believe those lies and forego the truth, even though you know the truth in your heart. In your spirit, you know the truth. Your mind will tell you can make the world a better place by being a savior. You're not a savior. You can barely save your damn self. You can't heal the world. The world ain't meant to be healed. The world is meant to be destroyed. The Most High told Noah, I won't destroy the world again with water. He didn't say I won't destroy the world again. The world is headed for self-destruction. You're trying to heal. Listen, you're trying to stand your one self up under a snowball that's as big as the globe, rolling down a hill. And you got your little work boots and your gloves on. I'm gonna go stop this snowball. Now, what's about to happen, boy? You're about to become the abominable snowman. Focus your energy on things that you can actually affect. Y'all, man, these boys need to say the serenity prayer. These boys got to learn the serenity prayer and say it every day. You're working on things that you can't affect to make yourself feel good. Get out of your feelings and get in your mind. Guard your mind with your spirit. Keep your feelings out of it. Elijah Jones II, brother, I appreciate the $20 super chat, bro. The world is not going to be a better place. It's not meant to be a better place. It's meant to be a worse place. Everything going on around you, you're trying to heal something. You can't even put your arm back in the socket if it pop out of the socket, boy. You can't fix a broken arm, but you're going to fix the world. You're having a tough enough time keeping your children respectful. You're having a tough enough time keeping your old lady disrespectful. You're having a tough enough time not getting pulled out your car and getting your head beat in by the police. But you're going to heal the world? Man, heal your world. A woman's mind would tell her that the number of sexual partners she had doesn't matter. Shouldn't matter. Won't matter. Couldn't matter. Can't matter. But her mind is telling her lies because it does matter. It absolutely matters. And also, a woman's mind will tell her that she don't need no man. Yeah, your mind will tell you don't need no man. Your mind lying to you. You do need a man. You need a man. You want a man. You got to have a man. If not, you're going to be incomplete and unfulfilled. Your purpose here is to be in a man's life and be beneficial to a man's life. And if you're not doing that, shout, then you're not as happy as you try to be. That's why you got that resting dog face that they always talk about. When you smile, you look mad. Hey, I appreciate that, Elijah, man. Elijah say salute. Congrats on monetization of your channels. Amazing content consistently. I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate it. Your mind will tell you good things come to those who wait. Man, your mind telling you a damn lie. Find me the person, man, that got something because they just waited on it. Got anything worth having? You can get some if you wait on it. It ain't gonna be good. Find me the first person who said something. Find me anybody you know who can brag about something they got that they waited on. They just sat and waited. Didn't grind, didn't hustle, didn't grind, didn't take the steps to get to it. See, the thing is, nothing comes to those who wait. Ain't no blessing nowhere trying to find you. You got to hustle and grind to get to the blessing. It's already there. That's like saying there's a surgeon somewhere who has no degree. You see what happened to that boy in Florida who tried to present himself as a doctor, man, didn't have no degree. They locked that fool up. Find me the doctor, find me the surgeon who doesn't have a medical degree. Find him. And no matter how long you wait, you're not going to wake up one day and they say, hey, we're going to offer you a surgeon job here. And you don't even have to have a degree. No, you got to go after what you want, man. That's a defeatist mentality. Good things come to those who wait. No, the hell they don't. While you waiting for the good thing, somebody else going to get it. And before it get to you, they're going to pick it off. They're going to intercept it. They're going to take it back the other way. Pick six. You got to play defense and offense in life. How do you play offense? By constantly chasing the truth of life. How do you play defense? By staying out of your feelings, keeping yourself from believing the lies that your mind tell you. Offense and defense, baby. That's why the Lakers and Bucks balling right now. They're playing offense and defense. That's why the Clippers ain't really doing what everybody thought they were going to do. Not just yet. It's still early, but because they can't balance offense and defense every night. And that's the reality of it, man. So I say this to you, man. Do everything in your power, man, and stay out of your feelings. And stay away from these lies that your mind tell you, because your mind is very efficient at telling you lies. Convincing lies. Some of the best lies you're ever going to hear are going to be told to you by your own mind. Because let me tell you what your mind does to a lie. Your mind will take a lie that doesn't seem very convincing and shape it into the type of lie that you need to believe based on what it knows about you, based on your preferences, based on your desires, based on your dreams, based on your fears, based on your pains, based on your need for validation. Your mind would take all of those things and shape that lie into exactly what you need it to be in order for you to believe it. So you got to stay on guard and make sure your spirit is guarding your mind from your feelings, because your feelings are going to put you in a bad place. Just ask Samson. Oh, you can't. The bro got him killed. Well, ask Adam. Oh, you can't. Bro got him kicked out the Garden of Eden for. Okay, well, let me say ask David. Well, you can't. You can't ask David either. You got. Well, let me ask. Wait a minute. Ain't nobody you can ask. Your feelings are going to cost you. That's all they're going to do. They're going to cost you. And sometimes they're going to cost you things that you can't recover. And that's the reality of it. Your mind will tell you lies, even though you know the truth. And your feelings will convince you to forget those truths, ignore those truths, act as if they don't exist, and embrace those lies instead. It's up to you to make sure that doesn't happen. I appreciate y'all coming through, man. My brother D. Flemings, appreciate you being working the wrench, man. My brothers who came through and, dropped the super chats, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all supporting this channel, man, helping it grow, man. I appreciate all the views, appreciate all the subs, man. When I did my first live stream on this channel, man, I think I had 1,000 views on it, man. We closed in on 2009. So we've gotten almost 1,000 views and 1,000 subscribers in the past week, man. So, hey, man, y'all keep supporting, keep sharing the channel, man. Right now, man, this is what we're going to do on this channel. I'm going to be dropping some live stream and some content on this channel. I'm also still going to be dropping content on the what I'm going to be doing, man. A few times, man, you're going to see me re-upload some content that got flagged down on the Book of Referendum channel, man. So y'all bear with me, man. I ain't trying to serve y'all no faulty content, man, or recycle no content and then like that, man. I know y'all might have some concerns about that. If you do have some concerns about that, but just know if you've heard it, it's because it got flagged down, man. I think it's quality enough content to put back up. But if it keep getting flagged down, a couple of times I had to flag down the second time. If that keep happening, then I just flood that stuff over to Patreon, man, in MP3 format. But anyway, brothers, I appreciate everybody coming through. It's been real in the field, man. I appreciate it, man. If y'all knew how much I appreciate, especially, of course, on the main channel, great channel, brothers, man. I appreciate y'all coming through, man, because I didn't on go, of course, working on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm satisfied with where we are. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate being real and make sure you avoid those haters, man, and avoid the lies that your mind tell you, man. Peace.
It's the Book of Referendum, nigga. Read it or weep.